Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. I'm taking full advantage of the fact that my kids are out of school today. And so I slept in and I'm getting a late start, and that's okay because tomorrow I have to hit the ground running. So here we are. Um, Today is going to be, I hope, a whole lot of fun. We are going to do two things. We are going to smash some 12 by 12 paper that we are not in love with, and we're going to do some clusters. So that's what we're doing today. For my channel members, this is going to be a bit of a repeat for you, but it's been like a year since we did it, so I figured it was fine. Um, and I will tell you that this idea for this cluster book is not mine. This came from Shabby Dabby Doodah. Miss Tina over at Shabby Dabby Doodah came up with this probably a year or two ago, and it is just brilliant. So let's get into it. Let's do this thing. I can't stay very long, so this shouldn't be a super long video like yesterday, the marathon, the Monday marathon. Hi, Susan. Hi, Elena. Hey, Tiffany. Good morning. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Jackie and Susan. I already said good morning to you, but really it's good afternoon. And hey, Miss Gloria, you're freezing today. It's 3 degrees outside. We have snow. Hey there, Natasha. Do you have snow down in your area? Natasha just lives about 45 minutes to an hour from me. You have to go to work. Oh no, be careful out there. And hey, Missy, Messy. Messy, Missy, how you doing? All right, so good to see y'all. A dusting. Yeah. It's still coming down here. Okay, so let's get into this because, I don't want it to go too long. I do need to head off. Okay, so we're going to show you what we're going to make. We're going to make these cluster books, okay? Mine still have clusters in them. I need to use some of these clusters. I will tell you, straight out of the gate, clusters are challenging for me. I don't know why, but they can be. Got a little sticky situation going on over here. That goes over there. This cluster book for me is full, I think. I think I filled it up. I have used one or two along the way. Oh, okay, so now I have a little bit left to go, but it's pretty much full. And I pulled out this box to show y'all. I was at a yard sale. It was a fundraiser for our local high school, and a teacher was selling this whole container of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper for $1. And I bought it. And I didn't even care what was in it. And sure enough, there's things in there that I don't ever plan on using. For this, for example. For this, there are pages in here that I don't love. Okay, they're not bad. They're just not my style, which is fine. I bought it because she even sold the whole container. And I know that just having 12 by 12 paper, even if it's not your favorite, is always a good thing. Because there's so much that you can do with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. There are a few gems in here. Look at this one. Super adorable. Scrap Happy from 2000. Oh, they're Fort Worth, Texas. How cool. Just up the road. Anyway, so there were a few gems in this thing, but mostly they were pages that I wouldn't use. I would say it was about 50-50 between what I would use and what I wouldn't use. Turns out, guess what I've used the most? The pages that I normally wouldn't use, because I made my other scrapbook from this. Here's some more. I don't need these. So let's do this. this part of today's kind of tutorial is going to be super quick. Okay, there's a whole bunch of this A&M paper. I'm guessing that's where she was graduated. This is going to be so easy. Okay, you can keep it in this big 12 by 12, oh, well, it's 6 by 12 format. But to be honest, I didn't love it in this format. It was a little too big for me. So I would probably I'm going to cut mine down. I'm not going to keep it in this big format for my next one. See, I've had one, and this is what happened. I think I don't use it because I can't keep it easily stored. So my goal with my next one is to keep it more easily stored. I have some other things here on my desk before we get into that. I had recently picked up this ephemera pack. Actually, it was from Dreams Etc. when they had a Black Friday sale, but it recently got to me. And then I was flipping through this morning, and I wanted to say, I haven't read it yet, but everything is in miniature. And you guys know, I've kind of been working in miniature myself lately, and I thought it was so fascinating that everything in here is kind of miniature too. This is the newest Stampington Somerset Studio magazine. And I want to do more of the exercises. I have never once done any of the exercises, and there's lots of them throughout the magazine that they've developed. And I actually want to try to do that. So if y'all are ever interested in maybe us doing some of these exercises together, maybe we could do that. But I figured, you know, they probably put them in here for a reason, and I should maybe try to do them sometime. Okay, so, but we're doing something totally different. Okay, when it comes to what to use, you use anything you want. I'm going to use this gnarly paper that I wouldn't use otherwise. You can use vintage ephemera, which is, you know, what we're going to do today. But if you don't like vintage, don't use vintage. I pulled out these from Not Too Shabby. You know, maybe you have a bunch of Not Too Shabby ephemera and paper. I used to keep mine together like this so that I could, you know, easily store it with my other 6x6 paper. And when I would grab it, I would grab the ephemera too, because they were in the bag together. So I save all my plastic bags, you guys, that I get from packaging, so I can do things like this. Okay. So you could use, this can be any aesthetic that you want. It does not have to be vintage. It can be anything. Miss Ava Lee, how are you? Good to see you. Miss Linda Gorman. You guys, if you're looking for Bitty Penny inspiration from someone besides me with my paper, you've got to go see the things that Linda Gorman makes over on Instagram. Oh my goodness, she doesn't have a YouTube, so you got to go to Instagram and look her up. Linda, it's just amazing. Okay, so, you know, we could do this in a way that we wouldn't create any scraps by making these like 6x6. So let's do that. All I'm going to do is take my 12x12, and I'm going to, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do it this way because this makes the most sense for you guys. I kind of like this sideways. All right. If you have directional paper and you want to keep it upright, you know, you would turn and cut accordingly. I actually kind of like it not being upright with this A&M paper. Oh my gosh, I think the whole book could be A&M at this point. There's so many of these. Anyways, so I'm going to cut mine a little differently because I kind of like them going sideways. So all I'm going to do is put this in and cut it at 6 inches. Okay, so now I've got a 6x12 piece of paper. I have a whole bunch of 6x12 pieces of paper. Look, there's nothing wrong at all with A&M. I just have no allegiance. Okay, again, now wait. I've got some other sheets in here. It'll be fine. I don't think. Okay, fine. Let me do it this way because my brain doesn't want to figure all that out right now. Here we go. That is probably enough, to be honest. I'll just save those other papers for another day. So yeah, if you're ever at like a yard sale, it's a good deal, right, Jackie? Hey, it's such a good deal. How could I pass it up? Hi, Kathy Wood. So I kind of like my A&M sideways. And now what I'm going to do, because it almost looks like a tribal is what I was trying to say. A tribal design or something. When it's turned on its side like this, it's just more interesting to my mind. So now I'm just going to take these, and they're a thin paper, which is great. It doesn't have to be cardstock. It can be. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to just fold these all in half. This is a super easy project. Anybody can make these. You're double watching. Are you double dipping, Ava Lee? Hey, Teresa. How you doing? For $1, a fantastic bargain. Yes. I know. It was too good to be true. I was like, are you sure $1 is all you want? She's like, yes, that's the price on it. I was like, okay. I won't twist your arm to pay more, but I would. Okay. So let me find my hole punch, which should just be right here. It's not popping out at me, but it should be right here. I don't know. You don't have to have one of these, but all I can find is my Crop-A-Dile right now. I'm going to use the biggest, what, I misfolded the last sheet, all wonky. Okay. Miss Heidi Robbins, did I say hi to you? Flo, Morbidity Penny. I know. Crazy, right? Look, I thought I told you I'd be here today. I could have kept sleeping, or I could have gone to work, but I was like, you know what? No, I think I told him I'd be here today. I'd be here later, and it's probably better. Tomorrow, I might not be here. I know I usually do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday lives, but it's the first day of school. I've been sleeping in as of late, and so I think I'll sleep in tomorrow and miss the live that I would normally do. Okay, hold on. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move my little slider. I love this part of this tool, having this piece here that you can move up. So now they're all going to be the same depth. I love that. I don't have to think about it too much. Okay, let's grab more. Okay, I have rings that I got at the Dollar Tree to assemble these. Well, I mean, I just have them in my stash because I use them for all kinds of things, but that's what I will use to assemble these. You can use, if you don't have the rings I'm about to get out, you don't have to run off to the Dollar Tree to get them. You can just use twine or ribbon or whatever to bind. If you don't want to do any of that, you could probably staple your papers together or something. The possibilities are endless, and I have a feeling, let's use a template here so that it all lines up. And that's what I'm doing. I am just using the first one I cut as like a template so that they all line up. You could probably staple, you know, your books together. I like this size already. I think I will use this more. I'm glad there's quite a few pages too, because since it is smaller, you probably need more pages. That would be the first thing I would guess. Like this book had fewer pages. So I think, you know, but it's bigger. So it would hold, when I would make larger clusters, it would hold about 3 or 4 per page, like so. But maybe we'll make smaller clusters in the smaller book. That's another thing you could do. Just spitballing here, but you could make a small book for small clusters and a big book for big clusters. So these are the Dollar Tree rings that I'm mentioning. You can probably get them at a lot of places besides just the Dollar Tree. And so let's just put these on. Hey Began, how you doing? How are y'all? It's so pretty outside. You know, snow is pretty. Okay. There we go. We've made a book for ourselves, a little cluster book. See how easy that was? Doesn't have to be complicated. Okay, now Tina over at Shabby Dabby Doodah, I love her. When she uses her book, she is not delicate at all. She just rips and tears the pages. So her book kind of vanishes with her clusters. But I just use like an ATG gun or repositionable tape or just a tad bit of glue, and I kind of pop mine off. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We have a cluster book. So with mine, I just put a tiny bit of tape on there. The thing is you can, yeah, so this one I put some ATG. It's like, you don't want to tear your piece of ephemera. This one tore it a little bit. So what she would do is she would just tear that piece of paper. So let's do one over here. This is what, the thing is I have other pieces on the back. So here for this one, she would take this, and this is why she uses paper she doesn't care about for this project, because then she just like tears it right out and glues that down. And so her book slowly gets all torn and kind of disappears. Okay. So that's the whole purpose of not using like your favorite paper or anything. So, you know, we could have bound it with twine instead of these, but I have these, so let's use them. All right, so now let's make some clusters. This is a great project if you have a lot of scraps, and you know I do. I have a lot of scraps this morning. Not that like I didn't sort through any. I just had this little pile of rubble off to the side that just had little bitty scraps, little bitty pieces of all kinds of things, sentiments. These are labels that I had die cut out. Just all kinds of things. Just whatever. This is literally just rubble is how I refer to this. So we might try to use some of the rubble. These keys that we had stamped out one time together kind of recently. These little strips of paper. I'm actually, another thing I had grabbed in advance were some book pages, because I think they make a great jumping off point. If you're gonna use like aged paper in books, especially as your base, get ready to tear your book the way we just tore that one. because Tiffany's here, but because I already had this out to open up and use today. I brought it with me for my clusters. She makes these really cool boxes. It's a Human Curiosity over on Etsy. And she has just all kinds of cool things, but she has like vintage buttons. This is a little kit she sent me. Trim, book pages, stickers. I mean, there's just playing cards. Just, ooh, let's use one of those. Let's use that as a base for one of the clusters. There's another one. Those are pretty. She sent me this for my 10,000 subs, which was super sweet. And I just kind of pull it out and use it from time to time. So this is going to be one of those times. I wanted to just grab some of these book pages. That's a cool picture. That reminds me of Tarzan and the jungle. Oh, Puss in Boots. Okay. Here's some more. Let's grab these. I think that's probably enough. I mean, it's more than enough. We're not going to sit here and make clusters all day long. So it's really honestly more than enough. But one thing I like about our kits is that some people do not want to tear books apart, and I understand, it's fine. So if you can't do it yourself, you can buy it, and you get a whole variety when she has packs of paper that you can just buy, which are just like packs of book pages. And the cool thing about it is you just get a variety of textures and colors and subject matter. I didn't mean to leave those out. Okay, but I need to put all that back. But we might use some of these in our clusters, which is why I pulled out our kit. Okay, so let's do this. We've got now these larger pieces that I'm going to take and randomly tear. Okay, so this will kind of be our cluster base, if you will. Just move all this off to the side. Okay, we have cluster bases. We have 6 cluster bases. Rubble. My Rubble has just random pieces of ephemera in it. Some painty pages. This is one of my favorite painted pages ever from my friend Mary. I have hoarded this thing for years. But I'm going to use it. Okay. Oh, we had scraps from yesterday. And remember, I was saying these would be really good for clusters. So just kind of, let's just kind of build something up here. These will be bases. I'll consider these bases for clusters. Hey, Linda. So good to see you. Hi, Mary C. You thought you were going back to sleep, and then... Oh my goodness. The Inkbox cards. I'm so hooked, Heidi. By the way, I didn't explain this to anyone when we were doing the Inkbox cards the other day. They're designed to be basically the same size as an Inkbox. Whose Inkbox? Tim Holtz Inkbox, of course. You can totally round the corners. But that's why Marguerite called them the Inkbox cards, because they're the size of a Tim Holtz Inkbox. Oh, they're so amazing. And these would be great for clusters too. You know, they're just the perfect size. I only have 3 left to decorate because I've already decorated all 16. I'm hooked on those. Gail Augustinelli uses a glue dot. Yeah, that's a good idea. I love Gail. I used to watch her faithfully every day, but I lost time. I need to go back. It's been a long time since I've checked in with Gail and watch her. When I say check in, I mean my own check in. She has no idea who I am. Because I'm terrible and I don't leave comments. I watch a lot more than I actually comment on. Y'all are all much better than me at that. I didn't want to cut this out, this little ticket, so I just tore it out. That'll be a great like focal point. Again, just desk rubble. The rubble pile. We have craft-a-lanches and piles of rubble. This is my craft room. Welcome. Everyone is welcome. My mom was telling me, I think one of your aunts might start watching your videos. I was like, awesome. Everybody's welcome. Tell her to come on in. She's like, I hope you'll give her a little shout out. I was like, absolutely. If I know it's my aunt, she's getting a shout out. She'll probably end up getting embarrassed. Hey, Noni. So good to see you. Am I hoarding? Never. Why would I ever do that? No, these were when I was working through my scraps the other day and I sorted pieces out. I was sorting by size and I sorted some pieces out and these got pushed to the side and I told myself, you get one shot to use these and if you don't use them, then you have to throw them away. But looky here. Here we are using them. Besides, it's not really hoarding if you have cool stuff, right? Let's put this key over here. Ooh, you know what I like the idea of? Because these ribbons right here, I love the idea of kind of making like ribbons. And I have all these branding strips. It'd be cute if I had a circle to put right there. I don't usually have circles because I die cut so rarely. Could do it with a stamp. Let's get a larger one. Could kind of make it with a stamp. But I love that idea of having clusters in the book that are like little ribbons, like prize ribbons. Let's just do it like this. And I gotta cut out that center part of that key. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's snowing here too, Jana. The south is getting a little dusting. How adorable. Husband doesn't have to work. My kids don't have to go to school. Guess who works? Me. I gotta go to work. What? But that's okay. My computer didn't want to work for like half the day yesterday, but finally my project manager, who is the most awesome project manager of all time, helped me get back on. Helped me get back online. Choose joy and peace. I agree. I think that little cluster's done. I'm good with it. I don't need it to be anything else or extra. Ooh, good. Here's another. These are kind of Christmassy. That's fun. Let's make another one. I'm going to tuck that back there. And I think that one's done. This one just needs a little something. I do like my clusters to kind of have a focal point. I guess I like just about everything I make to have some kind of focal point. Look what I just found. I found a circle. We can make an adorable little prize ribbon to hang right there on the edge of our cluster. They also get a key to the city. Or I'll put the key up here. Something like that, maybe. Okay, let's keep going. I love this paper. I always hoard this paper. Flo, you're hilarious. She says, I think we should make clusters all day long. Can we outvote her on her own channel? Look, if I didn't have to go to work. Oh, gosh. Then yes, we could. I'm going to add a little, just a little something. Now, this makes this instantly cuter. And then I'm even going to bring out the same tool, but I'm going to flip it and use the smaller side. And we've just made a tag. From that little scrap. It doesn't mean I'm going to turn it into a tag on. It definitely goes more with this on the cluster, but it just looks like I'm attaching a tag to the cluster. So you may be wondering, what are we going to do with these clusters? Well, you can put them on cards. You can decorate journal pages with them. You can just have fun using your scraps and make a cluster book and look through it every so often and go, that was fun. You can do whatever you want with your clusters. You can make little cards. You can make big cards. I can't bend this one the way I could bend the other one to cut out the center. So I'm just going to use a hole punch and go that way. Cut the wonkiest looking circle. Circles are the hardest to cut of the shapes, that's for sure. We could put ribbon and twine in the keys or in the tag if you wanted to. Okay, I need a focal point for this one. And I still feel like I kind of need one for this one. And then we're going to glue these other ones down and put them in our new book. What time is it? 8:35. Oh, we are doing good. You rounded your corners? Yeah, Heidi. I think that's a good thing. Robot Barbie. She's too big. See, this is really a pile of rubble. Ooh, an even bigger circle. And I didn't even think I would find any circles. But we could make this a separate one to make a little prize ribbon. We'll try to find a focal point for that. So now, because I don't know how many more focal points my pile of rubble might have in them, we will just grab my bag of ephemera that I had pulled out to use for this project. And we will use something from here. Ooh, there's a lot of circles. Yay, thanks, Timmy. pretty bird. I don't think it fits. It's not really what I'm looking for. Even a ticket could be, look at all these potential prize ribbons now. These would be good Happy Mail. You could make a bunch of these and send them out to your crafty friends or in swaps or whatever you do. Sorry, I just have this off to the side because there's little bitty pieces I'm trying not to lose here. Come on, focal points. Where are you at? These are all good bases for making clusters. I don't really see very many focal points. Okay. I kind of like this raised hand with the prize ribbon. He's like, I'll take one. All right, let's see what else is in here. She's a cutie. She's too big. You could fussy cut, but I don't want a fussy cut. These look more to me like cluster bases and like starting points. So maybe we'll start a couple of clusters from these. I'm still going to put them back in their bag for now and have to get them back out again. I've been tempted to get some of those trays from scrapbook.com because as an ephemera person, they do seem like they would be really helpful. This is kind of already a little mini cluster. Well, I'll just put it in the book. See, now over here I kind of have a bag of clusters. We can put a couple of these in our book too. Like this is a cluster and that's a cluster. We'll add those to our book. This is when I was working with transparencies and we covered the transparency with tissue paper and painted on the transparencies. I painted these faces, the backs of them with acrylic paint. I love these. I'm almost out of them. I need to make more. I think they're all too big except for this girl. Ooh, I like her with the hand and the prize ribbon. Okay, we're good. I think we have what we need. You have a ton of the ink box to decorate. Hey, just April. Do you go by Juju? Or am I way off the mark with what y'all are talking about? And I know that was a minute ago. I'm going to catch up. This one, I just put that random snowflake. This is all the scraps. And we can turn it into the best in snow, not the best in show. Prize. This is the best in snow prize. Here's some. Let's give this one a few ribbons to hang down. See, y'all are never going to look at your branding strips the same way again. You're going to be like, oh, shucks, now I'm saving my branding strips. I know. This is cute. It needs, I'm going to put another little piece on top. So I'm just going to staple this. Let's bring out the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher because that will certainly save me some time. Just stapling these pieces on there. You can't even see the staples on this side. And it tacked down my snowflake. Nice. Just use a little bit of glue. Okay, we have a prize ribbon. I could leave it plain like this, and then when I go to use it in something, I can kind of add something there that ties it into the page, you know? So if it's a journal with a bunch of bunnies, I could put a bunny on it, or if it's a journal with Santa Claus, I can put him on, you know, you can just like make it what you want it. Let's glue these down and glue these together. Sorry if I've gone off screen here. Just, I'll be back. All right. Dang, that glue had already dried. I like that. Okay, that's how we're gonna do this one. So I'll glue my hand down first. This is a good practice too for you. If you sometimes struggle with what to glue down first and your layers, this might be a really good thing to practice making clusters, because then you can practice your layering. Which pieces go first, that kind of thing. I'm gonna have to put another little piece of paper back here just to cover up that glue so it doesn't end up sticking to my book in a way that I don't want it to. There we go. Problem solved. Okay, that's funky. I know it's crazy, but it's cool. And it would be really fun and like a journal page. So let me get a journal out to show you. You know, some of your more plain pages, you don't have anything in. Suddenly you add a cluster and you're like, oh my gosh, I love it. It doesn't have to be a pocket. It doesn't have to be a tuck spot. It's just a cluster to go on the page. Okay, that one didn't even make it into our little book. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Melissa K. Are you down in Mexico? Where are you at? I bet you are. Maybe. Okay, let's get all this glued down. I just found this random heart, so added it there. I'm gonna put this kind of just right in the middle. And I'm gonna put the key over here. And this tag over here, and I think I will put, maybe, I'm gonna hang the whole over here, so I could add ribbon later if I want to, if I'm feeling inclined to do so. This one isn't like anything to write home about, but maybe it'll be cool when I go to use it. June, hi. How you doing? Brr. Yeah, you're down in Corpus Christi. Did y'all get some of the sleet and snow and stuff? You're not used to this. I'm a little further north in the Austin area, so I think I'm a little more accustomed to it than you guys are down there. This storm is just wild as far as the affected areas. Little Crafty Nook. Hey, Nikki. Golly, there's so many friends here I haven't seen in a while. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. This one could have something else. This is a cluster in itself. I'm not going to add a cluster to a cluster. This one could have something else, but again, if you just get a base, like maybe we just consider this a base, and then later on, when you're working on a project, you can add more to it. That's not a bad idea either. I did that. I'll go back to my original book and show you some bases that I made that don't have any focal points. We could probably, Heidi, we could put these on the Inkbox cards. Right? So if you have an Inkbox card, you could just pop it on there. Need something with contrast. It's a little big, but I should make them even smaller. I'm pretty sure I glued that in the wrong places. It'll be okay. This prize ribbon piece really inspired me this morning. One thing I'll say is that if you're not going to decorate it all the way and you're going to add more to it later, you might leave yourself some outs. And what I mean by that is don't put glue on your whole piece. So let me show you on this one what I mean. If you think you're going to come back and add more pieces later, maybe we'll glue this one all the way down. But then these other pieces, you might just tack right in the middle, you know, to tack it down and hold it down, but then leaving this without glue so that you could tuck more things in later and glue things down better. You know, now, later on, if you find something, you can come in behind it and add to it. So think about that if you're just doing base layers of clusters. Think about how you might want to add to it later. I thought we were going to be able to make another set, but time is already, I like the stable idea for this piece. Time is already creeping by. We might make one or two. Let's put these in our book. I am crazy about, I'm already just like totally crazy about the smaller book, y'all. So now we'll come in here and I don't have my ATG gun. Awesome. Oh, I have this though. And I haven't even opened it yet. This is a Tombow. Oh shoot, this one's permanent. I thought I had the non-permanent. Maybe that's why I haven't opened this. I think I wanted the non-permanent and I got sent the permanent one. Oh well. I don't love these. It's fine. Like, I'm not going to buy refills for this thing. I know. It feels really wasteful. It is a little bit. That's why I don't love those. Okay. So now, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to add just the tiniest bit of tape that I possibly can. Hello. There we go. to this and just kind of tuck these in our book. I think what I'll do, because I'm going to have to tear these out, is I'm not going to put clusters on this side. I'm going to put a cluster on this side. And you could make a note in here, like tacked down with permanent tape. You know, just write yourself a little note off to the side so you know you have to tear it out. Could do that. Okay. Ugh. Why can't we be friends? That's how I feel about this tape runner. All right, some of my other clusters that we did not make today. Get them in the book. I do mainly want to keep the things inside the pages. Like this one's hanging off. That's a little risky in my craft room. That's risky business right there, but we'll see how we do. But now we have a cluster book. Okay, let's do just only from Tim Holtz, not from the Rubble, just from Tim Holtz. Let's put a couple of clusters together and then I have to run. Yay, no work. Oh, gonna have to make it up. It's better when it's just, yay, no work. You must teach, you must be in the schools. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna do this. And I'm not gonna go crazy with glue because eventually I'm gonna have to glue this onto something. So I just need to make sure my pieces are set. I love that. Put a little more glue on the birdie since he's got like wings and stuff to protect. Okay, another cluster done. So how many of you are hoarding Tim Holtz stuff? I know it's not going to get any better because he's basically, I know he said he's not retiring, but he's retiring from making things that we like. So yeah, we kind of are. So now it's going to be even harder to use this stuff. I love the handle with care. I think this one's good. I'm gonna land right here with this one. See, this is a lot easier when you have plenty of ephemera. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right here, and then I can come back in and tuck if I want to. I'll put that right there. Might be fun to put like a little paper doll over that. I definitely have the feeling like something should go over that. Hold on, let me grab a paper doll real quick. I had actually put them away. Gloria, will you email me? I want to ask you something. And I don't know if I have your email. She's too big. She's pretty good. We'll take her. She fixes it all for me. I'm going to put her over here because I want it to, I want the circus word right there. It says circus. Burling Brothers Circus. The tickets are not 60 cents anymore. We were going to go to the take our kids to the circus like a year or two ago, and it was going to be like $300. I was like, no. There won't even, no. We didn't go. I was like, since when is the circus $300? What time are you doing a live today, Dawn? If so, what time? Okay, I'm liking this. This will be our last one. Yep. I could feel the bird at my back. Ooh, I like this one. Let's do this. Okay, I don't want this to get mixed with the rubble. So I'm going to put all this kind of off to the side, put this down and glue it together. Oh, hope everyone's safe. Every time I hear sirens, I pray for the first responders and everyone involved. Every time we see something, hear something, I immediately say a prayer for them. For everyone involved. Like this little blue sticker. Not a sticker, but it kind of looks like a sticker. Price sticker, $1. I'm only going to put glue over here on this side, enough to tack it down because it's going to hang off the edge. There we go. Another one done. This one's pretty big. I mean, I have small hands, but still that's a pretty big piece. Okay, so we're done here. We have made clusters. We've made a cluster book. Let me get this bag. Three degrees. Ugh. Gloria. What the heck, man? I checked with my robot this morning and it was 28 here. I have accepted, I just don't like the extremes. I don't like the extreme heat. I don't like the extreme cold. I like to be extremely comfortable. That's the extreme that I like. I have figured that much out about myself. Took a long time, but I'm there. All right, let's pop these in my book. Some of these do feel larger than what I wanted to go. I wanted this to be a book of tiny clusters, and these are a bit bigger, but that's okay. Let me put it over here, and maybe I can, I don't know. I think she's just going to be large and in charge, and that's okay. I'll just put it right there. Again, I'm not backing this because I'm going to have to cut these out. Wow. There we go. User error. Whoa. Let's have her upright just for funsies. All right. Oh, cool. I can fit both of those on that page. You don't need a ton. You're just tacking it down to keep it in your book. So we did it, you guys. We made clusters today. Wasn't that fun? At least I hope so. Yeah, and then you just go, you take them off, bam, you tack them down wherever you want. Let's put this one on this icebox card. Just to show you. Then the other clusters, bigger clusters can go on bigger cards. This card could go on an A2 card. So if you don't want a bunch of little cards, or you don't think you know what to do with the icebox cards, grab yourself an A2 card base or whatever size you want. Add a little scrap paper behind this. I happen to know somebody, a lady with some scrap paper. See, you just build something. And you've already done all the hard work. There, let's glue it down. So I hope you're feeling inspired. I am definitely loving working in miniatures right now. I have been a miniature collector. Like, I collect little miniature figurines since I was probably 5. So basically my whole life. Once I had a lick of sense, which I would say was 5, I started collecting miniatures. And I still have all the ones that I collected when I was a child. And guess who wants them? My daughter. She loves them. She loves to go look at my miniatures. I have some in a box and some up in a miniature case. Anyways, so it makes sense that I would be on this kick of miniature cards because I've always liked tiny things. This piece could be popped up, or we'll just glue it down. Oh, I love the sentiment on this one. All good things are wild and free. See? A little cluster on an icebox card on an A2 with more scraps. But it's fun. This is so fun. And you don't overthink it, because then you might not have fun. So try not to overthink it. Miss TR, how are you? Oh, thanks for checking in. Oh. TR, have you ever seen where when ahead of a snow, people will lay like a blanket out for their puppy, and over, before the snow comes, I guess the majority of the fall, and then they'll go out and they'll just take up the blanket, and then they'll have a little green patch of potty space. Hey, Beth. I know I'm not on at a normal time. We are making clusters. which you've figured out by now, I'm behind. That's what happens when I stop the chat. I get too far behind. I should never stop the chat. I actually haven't been doing that for a long time, and then I did it this morning. Sabotage. Oh, I've been looking for this pile of scraps, not knowing where I put it, and I just found them. Okay, on my A2 cards, I do like to pop an insert in when it's a thinner paper. So I already have them pre-cut. This piece of paper is 4 by 5 1/4. And it just helps balance things out when like the top of the card is decorated and it's real sturdy and heavy and nice, and then the inside's kind of flimsy. I like to add in these inserts. Plus, if it's like a colored cardstock like this is that gray, it just gives it more of a finished appearance, I think. I've been doing that since I started card making. Miss Paula Rice. Miss Kim. She had to check in. Hi and bye. Getting ready for work. Sala. Hi, darling. How you doing? Now we have a space for the next cluster to go right there. All right, you guys. I just want to say hi to everyone. Glad y'all are just chatting it up and having a good old time. Aw, but today is a good day. Oh, well, I'm happy I could be live, Sala. Hang in there, girl. Hang in there. This too shall pass. June, she's like, I actually work for a hippie. We're a home visitation program, but we sort of reflect the school districts. I'd like to work for a hippie. I think that would be fun most of the time. I know, Flo. Believe me, it hit hard. Yeah, Paula, make some ephemera with it. And like I said, at the beginning, you don't have to do vintage. I had pulled these out as an example. If you just love cutesy, you could do cutesy clusters. You could do whimsical clusters. I thought these two, not too shabby, were a good example of different styles. Different people like different things. So it doesn't have to be the vintage style. That's just more of what I would use in this stage of my crafting, but that could always change. I could flip to cutesy anytime. Who knows? Not me. That's for sure. Sala had to go, so she probably didn't even hear me say hi. Oh, yeah, I always say a prayer. I mean, to think that there are people who will go straight towards the fire and straight towards the crash and straight towards the danger to help others, I mean, that's a really beautiful person, in my opinion. They may not all be perfect, but the fact that they'll do that makes them beautiful to me, because none of us are perfect. Oh, thanks, Flo. Yeah, I will be sleeping in tomorrow. We will not be live tomorrow. I'll have another, we're almost done with the passport journal, so I think I'll have another passport video out for you. Oh, Paula, you're right. My craft roulette card. I need to make one of those. A tarp. Yes, I've also seen a tarp. A tarp, a sheet, something light. A tarp would probably be best because it kind of has like a slip to it. I caught up. Sorry I wasn't with y'all in real time, really. I was and I wasn't. All right, that's it. I gotta run. I gotta go to work. I hope you guys have a good and safe and warm day. And I will be back here with you. My whole schedule might be off, but we'll see. Because if I don't come tomorrow, then do I come Thursday or Friday? I don't know. I'll put something in the community once I have a clue. All right. Bye, everyone.